So again, here's my ribbon. I'm putting it on my loop and putting it about an inch in from the outside so that it will be uniform with the other side. And I'm pinning it in. Oops, there's no zipper. Okay. Now you want to pin all along your zipper again. Zippers like to crawl whenever you're sewing them, so I do suggest pinning your zipper here. Make sure that you grab it and put it all the way to the outside there. Okay. Now we're going to sew along here, along this edge that we just pinned. Can't quite get that. There we go. Alright. Now nip any excess that you have here, just because it'll leave a little lumpy in your pouch when you turn it, if you don't. Okay. Now, whenever you turn this, you can see that you have, whenever I can grab it, this is where your straps will go. They'll connect to here on your little loops. Here's your zipper. Whenever you open it up, you see the inside color. There it is. Okay? So now sewing it up on the outside is the easy part. What you want to do is make sure that I'm going to clean those up, because if they fall off the table, then I will have hurt bulldogs. Okay, when you're sewing it up, you want to leave your zipper about halfway open to almost all the way open. If you don't, you will not be able to flip your pouch, and you will have a big problem because some of these zippers lock, and if they're in the locked position, you won't be able to scoot them with your finger on the inside. And that is a terrible thing. Believe me, I've done it. So, nobody's perfect. We want to pick it up, even it up, and make sure that everything's lining up good. Get those little rings to lay down so that you don't have any big lumps in your pouch or anything crazy. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew from a piece on the inside, so all the way around, back to that piece, leave about an inch, inch and a half gap. Usually an inch and a half is better. The more of a gap you leave, the better chance you have of pulling that zipper through that tiny hole whenever we pull it inside out. So, again, you're going to sew from here all the way around in a big square, and then back, so you leave a gap. If you want to box your corners, you're welcome to. I'm going to leave this one plain Jane with just regular square edges. You can see how to box corners on my other video, how to make a pouch. But basically what you want to do is make sure that your zipper is not going to go wonky whenever you sew it. So you want to kind of line up your zipper so that it's not going two different directions like all crazy. You want to make them lay so that they'll open up whenever you get your pouch in the right direction. You don't want them to look like crazy. You want them to look uniform. So make sure that your zipper sides are both facing the same way down here, and that you don't have any curling on the inside while you're laying it straight. Again, pin it where you don't feel comfortable sewing straight. I'm going to pin mine around here because I like it to stay down around my zipper areas. If your fabric isn't lining up real good now, it's normal. Sometimes whenever you sew the zipper, it kind of puts the inside and outside out of line. Just sew over wherever it does meet up. You can see I have a little gap here, or maybe you can't. I'll hold it up for you. See, I have a little gap here. I'll just sew inside that gap so that I don't fall over that margin and leave a big open space. Okay, so we will start. Make sure whenever you put it in and start it, you're starting on the inside layer. You want to start on the fleece. This is your inside layer. Put your needle down, and whenever you're starting, you want to go forward about 3 stitches and then backwards about 3 stitches. Okay, this will kind of tie off the fabric here, tie off the thread, so that when you're pulling it inside out, it doesn't unravel on you. This will keep a nice uniform hole instead of it fraying out and giving you an exposed seam on the inside. We don't want that. So 3 forward, 3 backward, and then start. We left that nice open gap so that we can pull it inside out, cutting off any excess string. You'll also want to cut off any pieces that are left open inside. Make sure you don't cut them too small. You just want to cut off the places that are going to make your pouch kind of stick out whenever you turn it inside out. So cut it to about where the seam, or from the seam to the edge. Cut it about to the edge. Okay? Alright. Everything looks good. I'm going to cut these at an angle closer to that, that corner, so that when we turn inside out, those edges look better. Again, this is just for visual purposes. It's just for appearance. It doesn't affect how the pouch will function necessarily. Now this is where you would put in your box corners if you were going to put in box corners. Basically you would just fold it in a triangle, make sure that your angle meets up correctly, your seam is straight, and then you just sew along that triangle right there. Sew it here and cut it off, and then you'll flip it. So you do both of these corners. And then if you want it boxed on the outside, most people don't box the outside, box it here and here. So you're welcome to do that if you want to, but again, basic bonding pouch, I'm not going to do that.